Pink on because
I call this meeting to order. This meeting is being held in accordance with the public laws of 1975, Chapter 231. An adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by a notice sent to the Star-Ledger, the local source, and posted in the main lobby of the municipal building and on the Township website. I now ask you all to please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, led by American Legion Springfield Post 228, Vice Commander David Penna.
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I also ask that you please remain standing for a moment of silence for all those who serve our country, both near and not so near. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Mayor Capides.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Kaiser.
He's present. He is present.
Here. Committeeman Huber.
I'm present too.
Committeeman Laufer.
Also present.
Committeeman Weber.
Here.
Thank you. Proclamations and announcements. The farmers market is every Monday from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. in front of the library. The last day is this Monday, October 30th. Recreation Department's Halloween Spooktacular, Sunday, October 29th. Chisholm Park, 1 p.m. DJ dance party, costume contest, Halloween long games, magic tricks, and glazed and confused donuts. Register on Community Pass. Election day is Tuesday, November 7th. Polls are open from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. Vote by mail drop boxes behind the Chisholm Community Center, near the handicap ramp, and emptied twice a day by bipartisan team. Bilingual and English-speaking poll workers are needed. Contact the Board of Elections at 908-527-4236. All township offices are closed on Election Day, with the exception of the clerk's office. And every year the clerk's office does an amazing job. It's a very early morning and a very late night for them, and we always appreciate their hard work. The next Township Committee meeting is Wednesday, November 8th at 7 p.m. Leaf collection is November 1st to December 31st. Residents on Township roads may start placing only leaves with a small percentage of grass in the street now. Make sure your landscaper knows that no sticks or branches will be collected. Do not place leaves closer than 10 feet from any storm drain or catch basin as per NJDEP stormwater regulation. Residents residing in Union County roads can visit the county website or call 908-789-3660 for their leaf schedule. Flu clinic is Thursday, November 2nd, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. at Chisholm Gym. Appointments and pre-registration is strongly encouraged and preferred. Call 908-851-8507 or email mgapas@uniontownship.com or nrodriguez with a Z at uniontownship.com. These announcements will also be posted on our website and Facebook. I have two additional announcements for the general public. The first one, as always, is our GOMS update in terms of our construction. Construction activities are ongoing across all facets of the project. Along Caldwell Place, significant progress has been made as the structure is being enclosed and the installation of brick facing and windows has started. We are actively working to create a walkway on Caldwell Place with plans to move the barriers and wooden fencing to facilitate this process. Additionally, scaffolding is currently under construction, and our construction official has issued a notice regarding its structural integrity. Now, on Center Street, efforts are underway to repair the construction entrance gate. We are optimistic that the promised chain link fence will soon be installed. Furthermore, we have made a request for the chain link fence to be equipped with rollers, aligning with the standard practice for similar construction sites. As always, we will continue to provide you with updates on the ongoing progress of the GOM site. Our construction is ongoing. I think it's safe to say you have seen more construction activity on that site this year than any other time in its existence. This is certainly a project that was not initiated by a majority of the Township Committee here presently. And as my deputy mayor said months ago, we didn't start this project, but we are determined to finish it. I do also want to remind the public that we've had also two successful construction developments across the street from Mountain Avenue, where Wolf Properties is located. And we also have the other developer that is developing near the Millburn site, which is very rapidly moving. So those are two successful construction projects that we have ongoing that was the majority under this leadership. My last announcement is for the public as well. I understand that we've had a rough spring and summer months, and we've weathered a lot of storms. And because of that, we know that there are continue to be hardships that perhaps residents have in terms of extra debris, extra brush, extra things that have come down from their trees, from their property that they're still dealing with and trying to navigate. Well, we are happy to inform you that the Public Works Department will conduct a town-wide brush pickup alongside the start of leaf collection. If residents haven't already placed their miscellaneous brush at the curb, they can do so for this collection. This collection is intended to assist residents in disposing of debris already present at the properties. Now, we have 3 guidelines we're asking all residents to follow. Small wooden brush pieces should not exceed a diameter of 6 inches or a length of 6 feet. Probably the most important guideline is please be sure that your debris is kept separate from your leaf piles. We cannot accept just a pile of twigs, leaves, branches, etc. The leaves have to be separate and apart from your other debris. And the Public Works Department will make only one pass through the entire township. And all residents should have their debris ready at the curb by Tuesday, October 31st, and the Public Works collection will begin on November 1st in tandem with leaf collection. So we're going to do a town-wide, all-purpose brush, debris, and leaf collection starting on November 1st, but we are going to ask that the leaves be separated from the other debris that you have. And again, this is in large part to residents' requests that they still have ongoing issues on their property in terms of debris, brush, what have you. So we are trying to do what we can to support our residents to do this town-wide collection. And this will also be posted on our website. This will be posted on Facebook, and I also do believe we're going to be doing a robocall, I think this evening, to inform our residents. And if anyone does have any additional questions, they should please reach out to the Public Works Department. They would be happy to help. That concludes my proclamations and announcements. Is there any other announcements up here?
I'll take one.
Sure.
Everybody, homeowners, renters, it looks like anchor payments have hit. So everybody check your accounts.
Yes, I got money today.
Rich got his
Money
anchor
today.
payment. So everybody check your accounts. Bart got his. Rich got Bart's. Well, that's how you know we're in a small community. But, everybody make sure to check your accounts because anchor payments are rolling in.
I got mine. I looked at my account today. It said New Jersey State. I said, that was good. John, is Robbie going to give out a schedule like we do usually about the leaf collection? It's going to start like, just say this section and then that section will be after?
I can ask him, I know we don't do it in detail because
No, yeah.
there are times when something comes
Yeah.
up and you don't pick up a street that you had scheduled that day. I can ask him though, I will bring that up to him.
Anyone else? All right, moving on. We have first of 2 executive sessions for this evening. We're having this executive session at this time because there is a possibility that we could have actionable items to move forward with for this specific meeting. Madam Clerk, would you read the resolution, please?
Sure. Resolution 102423, whereas Article 6 of the Open Public Meetings Act provides that a public body may hold a closed session, and whereas the Township Committee will, during this meeting, enter into discussion of the following matters: attorney-client privilege and potential contract negotiation, insurance, attorney-client privilege and potential litigation, attorney-client privilege, contract negotiation, and collective bargaining matters. Whereas the matters to be discussed in closed session are to remain in the strictest of confidence by all township committee members in furtherance of their fiduciary duties to the township. Now therefore, be it resolved, matters discussed at this meeting will be released to the public when the reasons for discussing and acting upon them in closed session no longer exist. You have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Aye. All right, we'll be going into an executive session, and we will be returning to the dais shortly. We are back from executive session. We are now moving on to public comment on agenda items only. Anyone from the public that wish to speak on any agenda items, please step forward, name and address for the record. You'll have 4 minutes. Ms. Sherry, are you going to be keeping time? Oh, she just stepped out? Ms. Donnelly, would you mind keeping time? Yeah, sure. Okay, thank you very much. According to the resolution, all persons, is there anything specific you're looking for before I go through all of them?
Well, the interesting thing was, as I said, this has been going on for years. It's not something.
I remember when you were up here, you were doing the same thing, and I know that there was some talk about it for sure.
Yeah, and the irony of it was that while there are people that are against the hunting,
Sure.
a whole separate issue. Our concern at that time was the safety measures that were being implemented. And the safety measures at that time was there was somebody who was in charge. It was done during the evening hours. It stopped at 6 a.m. There were literally bait stations with salt licks, and the powder that was used in the shells had, former police officer, had the ability to only travel 25 feet. So, and you were only allowed to shoot in toward the interior of the property, because there are, so that's what I'm trying to get at.
Hold on, yes.
Yeah, so.
Sure, you can give him a
Without it
copy.
being specified on here, I was just curious if you could just share that. Sure.
As close to a Ray Lesniak approved deer hunt as we can get.
And then from there, if there's any specific questions you have beyond this, because it's going from November 20th. I know it's from November 20th to the 22nd, December 4th to 9th, December 16th to 23rd, December 26th to 30th, January 1st, February 10th. So we do have some time before this goes, and we do have a meeting in between that time. So I would suggest if you could go through the material, and if there's any suggestions of any addendums to this, please share with Mr. Basicolo, and we'll be happy to consider them.
You got it.
Maybe we can get somebody from Baltimore here.
I'm sorry?
We can get somebody from Baltimore here. If you have questions next time.
Oh, no. I'm just curious because this in and of itself didn't explain anything, and I was just curious if you had the ability to explain how it was being processed, because with all the measures we looked to take, and I'm sure that you're looking to take, the irony was we had one of the local schools at that time
Yeah.
that refused to allow the kids to go out for recess, even though
We weren't doing it.
hours, it was just a ridiculous situation, so.
So review the ordinance, and if we need to make a change to it, please let Mr. Basicolo know, be in touch, and we'd be happy to make and consider any changes.
Thank you.
No, thank you, Mr. Frankel. Anyone else from the public wishing to come forward on agenda items only? Seeing none, I'm going to close the public comment portion of agenda items only and move on to reports. Mr. Basicolo, good evening, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. A couple of things I wanted to touch on. We had a pre-construction meeting yesterday, actually on Cottage Lane, and that's going to consist of handicap ramps, spot curbing, new inlets, hazardous tree removal, sidewalk repairs, full mill and overlay on that street. We're expected to start that on November 6th, 45 days to complete the project. This is probably going to be our last paving for this year because Weldon shuts down. We won't be able to get asphalt, going forward. This is our 2023 Community Development Grant in the amount of $130. The bid came in for Denbar Constructions at $162. So the grant covered almost all of the project. You mentioned about our leaf collection that we're going to have. I just wanted to mention that we did televise the entire line, the sanitary and the storm sewer on Cottage to make sure we had no joints that weren't connected or any break in any pipes before we did the mill and overlay. So that's been done also. I'd like to touch on, you mentioned Gomes And yes, they are putting the brick, they started on the Caldwell side, and then they're gonna go to the white stone that goes over that. There's a design there. That's why right now you're only gonna see some brick going up. Then eventually you'll see the white stone going on also. The fourth floor is almost completely framed, and they did put the wall up around down to Center Street. So they have started the framing on Morris Ave and Center Street. On the Saks property, we have a meeting either this week or next week with the Saks people. I shouldn't say Saks, it's actually Garden Homes, with PD, Fire, and Emergency Management, because they are starting to rent. They did, at this point, just give me a moment, I want to find it. They did rent out some of the townhomes. The apartments won't be ready until next March. But we do want to sit down and make sure that we've got coverage for police, fire, and emergency management on that. A redevelopment study is underway for both the Scotty's property and the Bank of America, is it Bank of America?
Yes.
Is the other one, yeah. That should be done by 12/4 to present to the planning board. It's being worked on now as we speak. A couple other things I just wanted to touch on. Our proposed capital program for roads for 2023, I think we went over all the ones that we did. Union County Infrastructure Grant, we got for 2023, we got $63,000 on that. We've also applied for our New Jersey DOT Municipal Aid Grant for 2024. We put a cost estimate in for Milltown and Smithfield to be done at $554,000. Last year, we got Stonehill and Troy at $421,000. So we're hoping that, again, we're going to be successful in getting another grant to do those. I did want to mention, somebody brought up Morris Avenue, where they did the paving. Okay, I was told that that is the finished product.
It is?
It's a new, Robbie told me it's called like a chip and seal or something. It's a rough finish.
Yeah.
Supposedly it lasts longer than normal paving. So the state, I guess, wants to try that to see how long it lasts.
I'm glad my tires will be a,
I hate driving it every morning.
It'll make the road last longer. What about our tires?
No, nobody's gonna want to drive on it. That's part of it. Wow. By the way, on the Saks property or the Garden Homes property, I did want to mention there's 6 townhomes that are done and are scheduled to open in November. So they're moving right along. We still have a holdup on our one at Church Mall because, again, American Water has not gotten the material to lay the water line in. They're kind of holding them up, so
That's where the project stopped.
there's not a whole lot we can do. And actually, I had a phone call the other day. The Gomes people asked me if I could call JCP&L because they need to order the material for electric to the site. And JCP&L, after 18 months, they take your request and basically discard it, that project isn't gonna happen, they have to start over. So they've supplied JCP&L with all the proper paperwork. We're trying to get them out. You know, that's not something that the township is technically involved in, but again, to try to move the project along, I've called the area manager and I asked her to come out and we will meet with them, get them on site. And any questions that either side has, we'll try to get worked out so we don't hold them up. Right now, if you order the equipment that they need today, you're looking at 14 to 18 months. So we're trying to get that done as quickly as possible.
So they rented 6 townhouses, you said they rented?
Yes, already, they've leased 6 of those.
And when are they hoping to move in?
November,
Really?
yeah. All the paving is basically done, the curbing, the landscaping. They're working on the apartment buildings now and trying to finish up some of the other townhomes. But they've got 6 that are ready, and those are rented, and November they should start moving in.
Do we walk through it and approve everything so far?
Yes, we have.
I just, you know,
And like I said, we have a meeting now with them, with PD, Fire, EMS, make sure that everybody knows where everything is, so there's no confusion, so we have a call there, we can get to where we need to get to immediately.
So now that we've started renting, or now that they've started renting, are we going to start receiving pilot payments?
Yes, but that's a question for Mr. Galante. I don't know when that actually kicks in.
Okay.
That's something either he or Jen or maybe Lauren, I'm not sure who actually controls that.
But I'm saying money will start.
Yes.
Any other questions for Mr. Bisichillo? Excellent, thank you, John.
Thank you, guys.
We have minutes and reports. I move that they be accepted and filed. We have, thank you, we have new business. We have several ordinances, 1, 2, 3 ordinances for new business. Madam Clerk, can you read the first ordinance by title?
Yes, ordinance 2023-23. This ordinance amends the provisions of Chapter 2, Administration, Article 4, Boards, Committees, and Commissions of the Township Code regarding meetings of the Board of Health.
I'll make a motion to adopt ordinance 2023-23 as read by Madam Clerk, with publication in the local source on November 2nd, 2023, with a final hearing on November 21st, 2023.
I'll second that.
Any discussion up here? Okay, roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor Kaiser.
Yes.
Committeeman Weber.
Yes.
Committeeman Huber.
Yes.
Committeeman Laufer.
Yes.
Mayor Kapides.
Yes.
Ordinance 2023-24. This ordinance amends the Township Code to create the position of forester within the Township's Department of Public Works and provide the forester's enforcement of the Township Code's shade tree provisions.
I will make a motion to adopt ordinance 2023-24 as read by Madam Clerk, with publication in the local source on October 26, 2023, with a final hearing on November 8th, 2023.
Second.
Excellent. Any discussion on this?
Well, that's, if I'm not mistaken, that's a part-time position, am I correct?
Yes, he's part-time, he gets no benefits at all. He may work up to, it depends on, because we have somebody that's our certified tree expert is retiring. So he will take over to do all of our inspections, and the state has implemented some additional requirements that the township has to conform to. So we need somebody on staff that can do those type of things.
That's what I'm getting, okay. Just want people to understand, it's a part-time position with no benefit.
And this person has the proper certification.
This person worked 40 years for Temke.
So I'm assuming yes.
No one's been hired yet, just to make it clear, no one's been hired.
No.
No, I understand. I understand. Those, thank you.
Okay.
Roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor Kaiser.
Yes.
Committeeman Huber.
Yes.
Committeeman Laufer.
Yep.
Committeeman Weber.
Yes.
Mayor Kapides.
Yes, third and final.
Okay, ordinance 2023-25. This ordinance amends the existing ordinances governing certain employment positions and establishes compensation levels for the position of forester within the Township of Springfield.
I will make a motion to adopt ordinance 2023-25 as read by Madam Clerk, with the publication in the local source on October 26, 2023, with a final hearing on November 8th, 2023.
Second.
Any discussion up here?
No, we just did.
Excellent. Roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor Kaiser.
Yes.
Committeeman Huber.
See?
Committeeman Laufer.
Yep.
Committeeman Weber.
Yes.
Mayor Kapides.
Yes. Resolutions, we're gonna do by consent agenda. Do we have additional?
Mr. Mayor, yeah, before we add, I would like to make a motion to add a few resolutions. We're going to add resolutions numbers 2023-255, that's 2023-255. That's concerning our ask fee labor agreement and our memorandum of understanding. We're also adding 2023-256, resolution 2023-257, and resolution 2023-258. I'm having trouble reading today. Those are hiring of full-time laborers, a Mr. Robert DiDonato, a Mr. Michael DiDonato, and a Mr. Daniel Marinos. So please add those resolutions to the agenda.
Sure, do we have a second?
Second.
Okay. Do I need roll call on this? Roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor Kaiser.
Yes.
Committeeman Huber.
Yes.
Committeeman Laufer.
Yes.
Committeeman Weber.
Yes.
Mayor Kapides.
Yes, thank you for those additions and the descriptions of those resolutions. We are going to do resolutions by consent agenda. If you'd like a resolution pulled, please let me know as I call the number.
Mayor, before you go, I just want people to realize, we haven't filled any positions since, I guess, the first of the year.
Technically, we haven't yet either.
And the only reason that this is on there tonight is because we finally got a contract signed. And that's why we're hiring.
I was gonna pull
Oh, I'm
these,
sorry.
no, I was gonna pull these specifically, but if we're doing this up at the top, we could certainly do that. And it was one of the reasons, one of several topics that we were in on executive session for. Several resolutions are added to the agenda tonight. One of them, as Deputy Mayor Kaiser said, was because of our Public Works MOU, Memorandum of Understanding, and because of that, as Committeeman Heber said, there are additional resolutions for hires that we did not do in preparation for the passing of, or the intended passing of our Memorandum of Agreement. So I do want to, before we do this, and maybe we don't have to poll them, I would like to just take a moment to, thank our administrative.
No, purposely pull it.
Okay, we'll pull, okay, I'll do that. So, 251, 252.
Pull it.
253, 254, 255 will be pulled, 256, 257, and 258. Excellent. Can I have a motion, please?
I will,
Mr. Mayor, as resolutions 251, 253, 254, 256, 257, 258.
Excellent. Do I have a second?
second.
Second, roll call, please.
And this is only going up to 254, correct?
58.
This is,
Oh, we're gonna,
We just pulled 255 and we pulled 252.
252 was pulled and 255 was.
okay, sorry about that. All right, Committeeman Huber?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Kaiser?
Yes.
Committeeman Laufer?
yes.
Committeeman Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Capides?
Yes, Madam Clerk, can you please read Resolution 2023-252 by title?
Yes, this resolution amends the adopted budget for additional items of revenue and offsetting appropriation, Chapter 159, for 2023 Union County Kids Recreation Trust and 2023 Greening Union County grants.
Do I have a motion?
Can I touch on this?
Could we do a motion in a second, and then?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to adopt Resolution 2023-252 as read by Madam Clerk.
Second?
Second.
Comments?
So I just want to, since Director Lieb is here, good to see you. This is incredibly valuable money that we get from the County of Union, and we are using this money to make sure that costs for our recreation programs are staying level. It's been, as everybody knows, prices are going up, and I think it's very important that we keep costs of programs down, and thank you to the County of Union, thank you to Director Lieb for using this money to make sure programming stays as affordable as possible in the township.
And I appreciate those comments, and I would just say, as a recreation director, you're usually, I think you're first and foremost, people just assume, and rightfully so, that you're the face of the recreation department. Little do people know the amount of work and effort and time it takes to not only run these recreation programs effectively and efficiently, but also going after grants like this, doing the legwork, doing all the behind-the-scenes work to make these programs function and to make these programs possible. And it's, again, thanks to Adam Weave's effort that this and so many other grants and things have come in to heighten and to elaborate on our recreation department. So we are appreciative of his efforts, as always, and his staff.
Okay,
Roll call.
Roll call. On
252.
52, sorry. Deputy Mayor Kaiser.
Yes.
Committeeman Laufer.
Yes.
Committeeman Huber.
Yes.
Committeeman Weber.
Yes.
Mayor Capides.
Yes.
Resolution 2023-255. This resolution ratifies the Memorandum of Understanding between the Township of Springfield and the AFL-CIO AFSCME New Jersey Council 63, Local 3084, for the time period covering January 1, 2023 through December 31, 2026.
I'll make a motion to adopt Resolution 2023-255.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Comments?
I think it's a very good contract. since I've been here, I've been trying to get and finally got it. We have steps in DPW, can I say DPTW without getting in trouble? But before, when you used to come in, you'd come in almost with where the guy's there 15 years, and that isn't fair. And now we have steps to go in there, so we're saving money every year. You know, we're trying to cut back on everything we can. And if we can save money here and there, we will. I mean, I think it's a good contract. The guys are happy. So, I mean, nothing else I can say.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Good work to our negotiating team.
Yeah.
Yeah, could you, yeah, very, very good work to our BA, Mr. Biciclo, our CFO, Ms. Sherry, our labor council, and Scott, and our DPW director, who, you know, worked very hard, and many hours spent, and trust me, I've gotten updated on this contract more than I'd like to hear. But it was a very good work, and the effort goes to all of them who worked very hard and very well with also the union leaders. So thank you for them for coming to the table. And it truly did. It got great stuff done. Whoever says that I just like to spend money, right? I don't know what I'm doing. Or we don't know what we're doing. We didn't. This is a conservative agreement that locks in steps for new employees that are coming in, so they're not jumping right to the head. That'll save us money in the long run. Lifetime benefits, we curtailed for new employees. Will no longer get lifetime benefits like we see in the private sector, but happily giving some concessions to our labor and a 3% raise, and knowing how inflation has affected. So it's certainly seeing a success at the bargaining table, and that management and labor, that there's harmony, that gets work done for the township, that will bring people, new employees in so our DPW can function, but also saving taxpayer dollars, because let's face it, that's all we try to do up here. Try to not spend money. So we are doing the best that we can, and this a negotiated contract proves it.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. I couldn't have said it better myself, so I'm not going to. Roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor Kaiser?
Yes.
Committeeman Huber?
Yes.
Committeeman Laufer?
Yes.
Committeeman Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Capides?
Yes, great job by all. We have two discussion and action items for consideration tonight.
I would like to make a motion to request, to approve the request for the Short Hills Club Village to hold its annual. Troy Hills Club Village to hold its annual election meeting at Chisholm Community Center on Monday, December 4th, 2023, from 5 till 10 p.m. A hold harmless agreement will be provided, and certificate of insurance is forthcoming.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Committeeman Laufer?
Yes.
Committeeman Huber?
Yes.
Committeeman Weber?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Kaiser?
As a proud resident of Short Hills Club Village, I am fine with Troy Hills Club Village holding its annual election.
Abstain.
Yes.
Mayor Capides?
Yes.
Short Hills.
Second discussion and action item.
Let's pay some bills.
I thought we had another discussion action.
It's you, but-
Yeah, insurance of letter on behalf of the Township Committee to affected residents regarding recent and upcoming street repairs, repaving projects in connection with the Township's receipt of $600,000 in funding assistance from the New Jersey Transportation Trust Fund and the Union County Infrastructure and Municipal Aid Grant Program. I will make a motion to issue that letter to those affected residents.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor Kaiser?
Yes.
Committeeman Huber? Committeeman Laufer?
Yes.
Committeeman Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Capides?
Yes. Finance.
Now it's time to pay some bills. Payroll and invoices, so I will make a motion to adopt the payroll and invoices for the period of October 11th through October 24th, 2023 in the amount of $5,162,636.75.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor Kaiser.
Yes.
Committeeman Huber. Committeeman Laufer.
Yes.
Committeeman Weber.
Yes.
Mayor Capides.
And
Yes.
everybody has received your September budget report, your September pool budget report, your September revenue report, and the September pool revenue report. So I'm sure everybody has read that and filed it accordingly.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Correspondence, we have none. Public comment on any governmental issue. Anyone from the public wishing to speak on any governmental issue, please come forward, state your name and address for the record. You'll have 4 minutes to speak, after which the Township Committee may respond.
Art Frankel, Sycamore Terrace in Springfield. Gentlemen, I have a couple, so if I hit my 4-minute limit, I'll sit down, let somebody else come up and
Sure.
As Mr. Laufer knows, when I was here, I think it was about 6 weeks ago, I had asked a question about the bond that had been paid off with the funds that were realized from the sale of certain properties. And at that time, you had mentioned that the CFO was on vacation, so I'm like to know if you know what the rate of the interest rate was for those bonds at that time.
3.25.
3.25, okay. Do we have other bonds that, the reason I asked, and I brought it up last time, was 3.25 is a very good rate of interest these days. And if there are other bonds that are higher interest.
No, we have 2 other long-term bonds that are outstanding I believe they're both around 2%, maybe a little less.
So those are the only bonds that are out?
The bond that you're talking about, it's a short-term bond anticipation note, so it's a 1-year financing note. The other 2 are long-term bonds that go out, I believe, to 2028 and 2032. That information is found in our audit statements that just published this month.
Okay, so those are the only bond obligations.
At the moment, yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Weber?
Sir.
Question. I see the election signs up all over the place, and I see that you are running for a different position.
Mayor Frank.
If you were to be elected to that position, what is the disposition of your position here?
Unfortunately, I would be stepping down from here.
Okay, and what is so that the public understands the procedure if the seat is open? How does that work?
If the seat is open, if I am lucky enough to win the election in November, I would be stepping down from here. December 31st would be my last day, I guess. And they would be picking a replacement that would be up for re-election. That would be a contested seat the following election year for 2024.
Excuse me one second, do you want to clarify anything with that? Did he explain that correctly? We've had a similar circumstance before.
That's something that I would look into, and it would all depend on the timing and in terms of sequencing. But I'm not prepared to address that tonight.
Okay. He can't carry both seats, obviously, and if and when that time comes, I assure you, we will have the proper process and procedure followed by statute.
No, with everything that's going on, it's been mentioned a number of times today, cost containment on any level possible. I'm just curious, is there anyone within the municipal offices that reviews things such as health insurance and things along that line? I know there was somebody, I know who it was a number of years ago. Is there somebody that does that? Because I do know that that was one of the things that was mentioned in terms of the escalating cost of health insurance. I believe that the township still uses the state plan, and that is not going to change. That is going to get another huge increase because of certain conditions in certain towns that are leaving. So when you don't have the ability to spread that risk among larger numbers of people, it means the people that are left are doing that. So is there someone who is handling that?
Yes.
Who's reviewing it?
Yes.
Is it an employee or is it a contracted service?
I'm just going to say that we are very aware of the situation, and it's currently under review. I don't think there's anything else that I could say at this time, except that.
So you don't have the ability to answer whether it's a contracted service, or you're saying somebody is reviewing it, so they're reviewing it and making recommendations to the governing body
I think what you're asking is, are we paying somebody by the hour to do this? The answer is no. We have an employee.
No, I wasn't asking that.
Then can you clarify your question?
Sure.
Can I just ask Mr. Dow to step in on this, because I know that this has been a topic?
The township is considering, will be considering whether or not to hire insurance brokers for this purpose.
On a consulting basis for making recommendations for the town?
For various issues surrounding the provisions of health insurance.
I mean,
We're currently reviewing several options right now, and it's certain, and I'm sure you can understand, it's limiting my comments of what I could say publicly.
I just know that,
Sense? I'm not trying to be cryptic.
No, I
You
understand.
understand,
I just know that it's the type of situation, that industry in and of itself, that is very specialized. And unless somebody is sitting there and understanding it and giving proper information, not telling you what to do, but providing all the broad strokes so that you can make decisions. We were fully insured with carriers in previous years, and unfortunately, we had a number of very unhealthy people who were employed by the town. And because of that, our rates skyrocketed. And then at some point subsequent to that, the state plan came in, because at that time, that was the best way to do it. Now, there are cities such as Newark and Trenton that have seen that increase in cost. They were part of the state plan, Trenton in particular, and they saw the 21% rate increase. And it is going to be bigger than that on the next go-round, because I happen to know that industry. I don't do that myself, but I work with people who do. And I just understand it. And as a taxpayer, knowing how that's going to affect the ability to impact our taxes, that's why I'm asking these questions.
I understand, and it's currently being reviewed.
We are not sleeping on it, guaranteed.
Absolutely not.
Well, someone somewhere along the line should have known going in, because this 21% increase was not a surprise to anybody. Somebody should have been telling you guys at the very least what to anticipate, and there were ways to do it. I just know that when we sat there, the brokers we dealt with 14 years ago were not being forthright.
Right.
And they had their own self-interests at heart. So that's why I'm asking these questions.
Mr. Frankel, I can't comment any further than I already have
Okay.
about this.
But at the time that something is done, you will be able to make mention of that?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay. I heard
Thank
the
you.
buzzer go off. I'm going to sit down and let somebody else. Thank you.
Mike.
Anyone else from the public wishing to comment? Seeing none, I'm going to close the public comment portion. And we have an executive session, but before we go into executive session, does anyone have any comments up here? No? Okay. Could we have the executive session?
Yes, Resolution 102423, whereas Article 6 of the Open Public Meetings Act provides a public body may hold a closed session, excuse me, and whereas the Township Committee will during this meeting enter into discussion of the following matters: attorney-client privilege, contract negotiation, and potential property acquisition, attorney-client privilege, municipal facilities, and attorney-client privilege and potential contract negotiation, the bid and the SID. Whereas the matters to be discussed in this session are to remain in the strictest of confidence by all committee members in furtherance of their fiduciary duties to the township. Now therefore be it resolved, matters discussed at this meeting will be released to the public when the reasons for discussing and acting upon them in closed session no longer exist.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We will not be taking action coming out of executive session.